There's a phrase I've been seeing more and more lately that it really just clicked in my head what it means. So this is like anybody criticizing science in a way that people will take seriously, right? So clearly we're pandering. This is a manipulation, the way that this is operating here. Um, they have to say things like, "I appreciate technological progress. I like scientific advancement." They have to say something like this in order to preface what their criticism is going to be. The only way that they're going to be taken seriously is if they say this shit first. But it just occurred to me what this is. It's identical to saying something like, I believe in Jesus, but, oh, I'm a Christian, but, oh, I'm a good Muslim, but, it's that. It's that. It's the same thing. So anybody who's like, oh, science isn't a religion, it's opposed to the religions, it's opposite the religions. Really? Then why does it use the same social structures, the same really everything? Why does it look like a religion? Why do people casually compare it to religions? You it doesn't occur to anybody to compare a chair to a grapefruit because they're actually genuinely different from each other. But compare a grapefruit to an orange. Okay, they're both citrus. Compare a grapefruit to an apple. Okay, they're both fruit. That like they're round fruit about the size that you can hold in your hand. It's there's a lot of similarities there. But a grapefruit to a chair? That's a really strange comparison. If science were actually as different from religions as people want to claim, it would be like trying to compare them would be like comparing grapefruits and chairs. But it's actually much more intuitive and it makes sense to just about everybody. So it's actually much more like grapefruits and oranges, or maybe grapefruits and apples, which means that there's a category that they live within. And I think I've noted before, I would name that category religion, which makes science a religion. But yeah, you can see it here, right? Oh, I like science. I like technological progress. I like blah blah. Like you're pandering to other members of the cult, right? That's what that is. That's what that is. You're buying their approval before criticizing them, so that right, it's the same exact behavior. Why is like nobody's questioning why is technological progress inherently good? Why is that a virtue in the first place? Very much like why is living like Jesus Christ virtuous in the first place? When I look at the documented life of Jesus, he doesn't seem like a particularly virtuous person to me. Right? I mean, he flipped the fuck out at a fig tree and murdered it because it wouldn't produce fruit out of season. That sounds like a lunatic to me. And similarly, why is technological progress virtuous? Something that worked 100 years ago still works today. What do you, when like, a lot of things like, oh, basically the way a house is built today is pretty much the same as 100 years ago. They just use cheaper materials now and charge you many, many more times for the right. That's your progress that's happened with building a house. They figured out how to gouge you for money a little bit better. Right? Your house isn't better quality than it was 100 years ago. It was a better quality house 100 years ago in most cases. Yeah. Why is why is this perceived technological progress even virtuous? And a similar thing occurs everywhere else, right? So, say compare like a Tesla to my Volvo 240. Okay. My Volvo 240 is about 41 and a half years old. And it runs fine. Right. And I can do small, regular preventive maintenance on it to keep it running for a very long time. I have a spare engine coming from a 1990 240. I want to get a spare differential just in case that shits the bed. Spare driveline. A lot of the other parts I already have spares for. So if it does go bad, if things do break down, I can replace it, and I can do it in my driveway, like myself. A Tesla, well, as we've seen recently, they have a lifespan around about 10 years. And when that battery goes bad, you might as well just blow it up for spectacle. Because the cost of getting a new battery is likely to be more than the value of the car. And if you can't get a new battery in that car, or you can't repair the battery in that car, you can't drive it. So now it's just a worthless piece of shit. You might as well blow it up. Right? My Volvo 240, different story. Even if, say, gasoline becomes prohibitively expensive, I can reconfigure that engine very easily to accept other fuels. It won't be as fuel efficient, or it won't be, you won't get as much probably you won't get the same mile per gallon for a different fuel, but it will remain a viable vehicle, even if gasoline becomes prohibitively expensive. You can't say that about a Tesla. So I don't understand where you're seeing technological progress here with the EV. Also, where is the electricity to charge the EV really coming from? The same arguments that can be carbon neutral also apply to the fuels for my 240. I can grow, because I live far enough south that I can actually, on my own land, I can grow. I don't have enough land to do this, but if I did, it could be possible. I can grow grains or sugarcane or something and ferment that and then refine it and have fuel that I can run my car on. I can produce it pretty much myself. Not the quantities that I need, realistically. This is true. But I live far enough south that we get enough sunlight, I can make that happen. If I had another, 100 acres or something, which is actually not impossible. You can't do that with a Tesla. So I don't understand this technological progress that is allegedly built into the Tesla. I don't get it. Where is the virtue there? Right? Just one example. So why? Why do you believe in technological progress? Right? So that, it comes back to that. Like, why do you believe in Jesus? Why do you want to follow in Jesus' footsteps? Why do you believe in technological progress? Why do you believe in science? Why do you want to follow the way of science? It's ultimately the same thing, because you have some sort of faith that this is the correct way. This is the true, best, narrow, straight path that we should follow. All else damned. Right? Why? But is it? Have you actually stopped and, considered this? Or are you just doing it because the people around you do it? Kind of like, well, Why are you Greek Orthodox? Because my parents were. Why are you Catholic? Because my parents were. Why do you believe in science? Because my parents did. Is it really just that? Or what? Because the culture around me is. Why are you Protestant? Because the culture around me is. Why do you like science? Because the culture around me does. I think it's more that than people want to admit, recognize. I'm actually interested in people's views on this one, but